Can I say that the people of the eastern part of Nigeria, they are currently rejoicing, celebrating as history was made on the 9th day of May. As the Mbadiwe's International Cargo Airport in Owerri, Imo State precisely, witnessed its first ever international flight since its inception. The fascinating thing about this event was the deployment of the wide-body Boeing 777-300 aircraft that landed on the airport's runway for the very first time. Such a big jet had landed and taken off from Mbadiwe's International Cargo Airport. It is a big thing for the Imolites, a big thing for Nigerians, the Easterners. Precisely. For good 18, this very event was executed by the Nigeria's leading airline, which is Airpeace, Allen Onyema, precisely. But guess the surprising things to the Imolites and to the Easterners. This very Boeing 773 aircraft airlifted 315 pilgrims for Hajj 2025. And where did they fly to? To Medina, Saudi Arabia. Precisely. Wow! And it was claimed that this inaugural flight to Medina, Saudi Arabia, it's a new era that will bring about international connectivity when it comes to religious tourism to the people of the Eastern region. Precisely. And it also shows that the airport is capable of handling international or global operations rather than being underscored as not being able to operate internationally. I think there is hope for the Easterners. This is the time that we may be flying directly from our local airports. Anambra Airport is there. I've never traveled via that airport. We have Asaba Airport there. We have one in Akwa Ibom, Port Harcourt. Many a times when flying abroad, many of us have gone through transits locally, having to fly from Owerri to Lagos or Abuja in order to fly internationally. Most interestingly, the Vice President of Nigeria, is it Kassim Shettima, who flagged off this inauguration, actually praised our governor, Hope Uzodinma, for fostering inclusivity and advancing aviation infrastructure in Imo State precisely. However, this inauguration was supposed to be a good thing for the Easterners. Unfortunately, most Nigerians, especially the Easterners, didn't find it funny. They had their sentiments. They shared their resentment and disappointment in the comment section, which I'll be reading some of their comments here, considering the fact that this was first of its kind being launched. And then where did this flight go to? Piam, to Saudi Arabia. And what for? For religious pilgrimage, other than for business or traveling internationally. Let me read out some of this, their comments so that we can discuss a little bit and you can leave your opinion in the comment section as we read their comments. So Samuel said, I love the way flying to abroad from Imo State started with our Muslim brothers and sisters, sponsored by taxpayers' money through our government. Kudos to them. I will wish to see, going forward, Nigerians, most especially Igbos, businessmen and women can fly to abroad through same airports without any long story or hindrance from external body or motive, because this action actually proves that the airport can serve for international purposes. Let this not be the usual politics of our selfish leaders to gain mere trust and support. Meanwhile, it was said that Hope Uzodinma actually fitted some night lights, and day lights so that aircraft can actually run during the night time. I think they said he did some work in the airport which facilitated this. So this gentleman here is also saying that we should be able to fly to the Western countries through this airport, not just people flying for religious pilgrim. I have Malachi, very good. Hope it will continue after Hajj. I want to see a continuous flight from UK, the US, and other international flights Failure to continue is another deceit and the religious inclined politics. I need people in authority to prove me wrong by ensuring a true practice of international airport services. Definitely, I would love to fly from Owerri to the UK. The airport is close by my husband's house. Just about 10 minutes drive, you are at that airport. So guys, this very comment, it is not controversial, but it is something that, got my attention, and a lot of people attuned to this person's comment. Emmanuel, when will airpeace lift Christians from Sokoto to Israel, the Holy Land? I don't know. When Imo states become sorry to say that, Boko Haram states, that they now take off from the airport to Saudi, the airports our great-grandfathers contributed money to build. I don't know if you understand this. Well, this person, I think what he's trying to say is this. To be honest, the Nigeria that I know, yes, everyone is entitled to their opinion. I don't think this would happen in the northern part of Nigeria. Having Christians taking off to Jerusalem from, I think, Ahmadu Bello International Airport in Kano, or somewhere else, Sokoto, Katsina, or them far core northern states. It is hard to see that happen. But this just happened in our land. Being the first international flight taking off, going to Mecca, carrying pilgrims from Imo State, Abia State, they said River State or Cross River State, to Mecca. To be frank with you, Nigeria that I know, the Hausas, they wouldn't allow this to happen. I am not being one-sided. I am also speaking my opinion as a Nigerian. I have a voice. Yes, nobody should silence that. Linus, this is good for airpeace, but not a welcome development for Nigeria, because it's not contributing to the economic development of the country. Rather, it's draining our resources and expanding a religious agenda. It's very unfortunate that this is the kind of thing Nigerian government can't as achievements. Religion is a personal decision and should be pursued personally and not at the expense of the people. What do you think about this comment? Definitely, they were being sponsored by the taxpayers' money in Nigeria. Yes, religion should be something of personal. You spend this money out of your pocket. If you're going for a pilgrimage outside of Nigeria, you should sponsor yourself and not the government using public funds to sponsor this. Levinus, it's like the people of Imo State, they like Linus and Levinus. I hope Imo Airport can now be used as an international airport, since it is shown that Boeing 77 can land and take off from the airport. This is also the point I am after. I would like to fly from there, like I said. So somebody, Ngozi, said, waste of people's money. Nigerians are dying of hunger. Government is sponsoring people to Mecca. Mislead priority. And Mazi said, he tagged airpeace in his comment. He said, airpeace, how does this benefit the true indigenous people of Imo? I ask. Please and please, this is never a history. This is a pure selfishness and politics. What we need in the East is stake in an investment, not religious fanaticism. Chinonso said, Oga Hope Uzodenjo, what value have this event added to the growth of Imo State citizens? Now, so nonsense that they do, trying to please people that don't care about you. I don't know who was he even referring to as people that don't care about you. Nigerian government precisely. Jay said, don't count this as a history, because after Hope Uzodinma, a Fulani man's tenure, this rubbish Hajj airlift from Imo State will stop, possibly, using a Christian state money to airlift Muslims from northern Nigeria. They were all speaking Hausa and Fulani language at the airports. My brother, were you there when they took off? This is not funny, to be honest, but forgive me that I asked that question. And we have a Mecca here. Will they still allow the airpeace to continue the international flights from Imo State to the UK, Dubai, not only for religious purposes? This is what most Nigerians, especially the Easterners, are interested in. Instead of having our grandparents, our grandmothers and fathers, traveling all the way to Lagos, Abuja to fly, they can easily fly from Imo State, And Engineer Waju, I'm not calling their second names here, Engineer Waju said, not to UK, not to America, not to Canada or even Dubai, not even business flights to Germany, Japan, Turkey, India or Vietnam, but to, Jesus Christ, I don't want to say that, but to Saudi Arabia. Oh my God, the comment is quite not good, please. Despite all the killings in Imo State by these terrorists, the government there are only interested in inflicting religious chaos among the people. Tell me which society does such. And another commenter said, that's so remarkable, sir, but I urge the government to stop sponsoring Hajj and Jerusalem pilgrimage. We can use the funds to invest in something beneficial to all citizens. Uchenna, we should be ashamed, Ndibu. So our businessmen and women can't fly directly to other countries from Alibu, but something that adds no value to the development of our land is gaining what we should gain. Why should it be Muslims traveling to Hajj with our Imo State fund? Can that happen in Kanu, just like the other person said? Katsina or Sokoto? Imo State is not a Muslim state. Yes. Allowing this nonsense will cause a big problem in the near future because Muslims live and witness. Oh my God, I don't want to continue with that comment. So Imo State is predominantly occupied by Christians and the Omenala people. Muslims are the minority in number in Imo State. This thing happening in Imo State, it's not fair enough, to be honest with you. Yes, I am an Imolite. I should also speak my mind. I'm not being in between on this topic. Let's call a spade, but this is a good development and a good news to the Easterners, knowing that that airport it's currently in a very good condition for such a large Boeing jet to have landed there and taken off a lifted 315 people, and they landed safely to Medina, Mecca, which is international. So ongoing, we would like to see more international flights, lifting passengers and landing there safe and sound. Yes, it's a new development for the Imolites. What do you think in the comment section? We appreciate the government and we hope that by the end of this Hope Uzadima's administration, this would definitely continue, but not just for the pilgrims alone, because I know the next step now would be to sponsor the Christians going to Jerusalem for their pilgrimage in order to balance this so that the Christian community wouldn't be, raising their voices, talking about how they have been cheated. And but even if they complain, I think it is their right to complain unless the government balances this. Unfortunately, what a lot of Eastern indigenes would love to see happening at that airport is international flights being able to land and airlift from that particular airport to different parts of the world, not just going for pilgrimage in different countries, especially Israel and Saudi Arabia. No, that is not what we want. I don't know what you think about this development. Leave your comment in the comment section. Let's rub minds together. Remember to watch your words. Be kind in your expression, as YouTube would flag off your comments if you are too raw and use certain words that are not acceptable by Google. Thank you once again for watching. Like my video, subscribe to my channel, and keep coming back for more. Bye.